Welcome, everybody, to the Grueling Truth Sports Network. The Grueling Truth, as always, is powered by Betting.net. Betting.net is your best bet for finding the online sportsbook or casino that's right for you. Make sure you check them out at Betting.net. All right, I'm your host, guys, Mike Goodpaster. I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Grueling Truth. Like and subscribe. Click on the bell notification button so you get all the Grueling Truth content as it comes out. Today, we're going to give you a special NFL prediction show where we are going to look at the best bet for the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs. Then we will also give you the top 3-game single parlay, which you guys won't want to miss. The odds on it are 13-1. I think it's got a really good chance of hitting. So let's go ahead and let's get this show started. We're going to start off Jacksonville at Kansas City. To me, I think there's 3 things that happen in this game. These would be my bold predictions. Now, Kansas City comes off a first-round bye thanks to finishing at the top of the AFC. The team finished a regular season winning 10 out of 11 games, and at 14-3, the Chiefs are tied with the best record in the league. On the other side, the Jacksonville Jaguars, just 9-8, but they were red hot finishing the season. They've got a 31-30 victory over the Los Angeles Chargers in the wild card round. They overcame a 27-0 deficit, which was the 3rd largest comeback in NFL playoff history. Now, although Kansas City is rested and has a better regular season record, Jacksonville has been extra motivated after its win versus the Chargers. With that being said, I'm going to give you some of my bold predictions here. Number 1, Kansas City holds Jacksonville to less than 100 yards rushing. If that happens, you already know where I'm going with this pick. And there's no secret Trevor Lawrence's growth in his sophomore year played a big role in Jacksonville's success after completing just 59.6% of his passes and throwing a league-worst 17 picks as a rookie. He has significantly improved this season. Urban Meyer is gone, which helps, number 1. But also he's got Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson knows how to coach quarterbacks. Doug Peterson made Nick Foles a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What's Nick Foles done since then? Now, he's increased his touchdown passes from 12 to 25. And there's some areas of the offense, though, that the Jaguars need to improve. Particularly the running game has had its ups and downs in 2022. The team has had under 100 rushing yards in 7 games this season, including 4 consecutive times. The season lowest came in a crucial Week 18 contest against the Tennessee Titans when the Jaguars had only 19 yards on the ground. In the wild card round, Travis Etienne was responsible for 109 of the team's 117 rushing yards. On Saturday, Kansas City should give Jacksonville some hard time on the ground. The Chiefs allowed 1,800 total rushing yards in the regular season, which is 8th best in the league. In their previous matchup, which they won 27-17 over the Jaguars, Jacksonville had just 75 yards rushing. With first team All-Pro Chris Jones leading the defensive line, the bold prediction here is that the Chiefs will hold the Jaguars to less than 100 yards rushing. Jones and the defense should make a strong barrier for Travis Etienne, limiting his presence during the game. Now, my number 2 bold prediction, I don't know how bold it is because he's done this a lot. Patrick Mahomes goes off, finishes 350 total yards and multiple touchdowns. If Jacksonville can trust its quarterback, the same applies to Kansas City. Not only that, but the Chiefs have an MVP caliber player in Patrick Mahomes. Following the departure of Tyreek Hill in the offseason, there were many questions surrounding Kansas City's offense. However, Mahomes has quickly silenced the doubters with elite play. And on top of that, he has completed touchdown passes to 12 or 13 different guys. He's become a much better quarterback. He doesn't force things the way he did in the past. And he completed a career-high 67.1% of his passes for 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, both league best, against just 12 picks. He also added 358 yards on the ground and 4 scores. He ended up setting an NFL record for most total yards in a season by a quarterback, combined rushing and passing, with just a little over 5,600. Mahomes had 10 games with 300-plus rushing yards or passing yards, which included 2 400-yard performances. He also had 5 contests with at least 30 rushing yards. The Jaguars have allowed opponents to throw for 300-plus yards in 14 out of 19 games, including the playoffs. Because of that, I don't know how bold a prediction this is, but I think Patrick Mahomes goes off in this game. Number 3. The Chiefs cover the 8.5 points. I think the Chiefs win this game by double digits. At the end of the day, it is difficult to ignore how Kansas City and Mahomes have played this year. The team has been one of the main frontrunners for the Super Bowl since the start of the season. It's true they've struggled against teams like the Texans towards the end of the year, but based on what the Jaguars showed last week, They are prepared to face adversity. However, if Kansas City opens a 14, 17-point lead here, it's going to be a lot more difficult to catch Kansas City than it was to catch LA. All things considered, I think the bold prediction is that the Chiefs will end up winning. Additionally, they should cover the spread by having a double-digit margin. So that right there is our main pick for this game, which is Kansas City minus 8.5. That brings us to our parlay. All right, you got our bold predictions. Now you're going to get our single game parlay, which you're going to see right here. It's the Chiefs minus 8.5. Christian Kirk with an anytime touchdown. Trevor Lawrence more than 275 yards passing. Now, as I said, I love Doug Peterson. I think he's one of the most underrated coaches in the NFL, and he has a talent for getting the most out of his players. Having said that, the Chiefs are a different animal than the LA Chargers. The Chiefs have too much talent on both sides of the ball for the Jaguars to keep up. The Jaguars defense won't be able to keep up with Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez, Scandling, and Patrick Mahomes, or anybody else that he could possibly throw the ball or hand the ball. When these two teams met earlier in the year and the Chiefs won by 10, I think they will win by a margin north of 10 this time. I think 8.5 is a safe bet for the first leg of our same game parlay. Number 2, Trevor Lawrence, 275 plus passing yards. Now, this isn't necessarily a vote of confidence for Trevor Lawrence as much as it is an indictment of the Jaguars. I think this game gets out of hand early. If that's the case, Lawrence is going to be able to need to throw the ball early and often. Last week, we saw what happens when Lawrence and the Jags get behind in the first half. He proceeded to throw more pass attempts in a game than he has all year. So I think it's reasonable to consider we may see that again. The odds here are pretty long on this at plus 275. I would hit this at a heartbeat. Now, my third one, anytime touchdown, Christian Kirk. There was so much made about Christian Kirk's horrendous contract in the offseason that people are overlooking the fact he's been fantastic for the Jaguars this season. Kirk has 84 catches, 1,108 yards, and 8 receiving touchdowns, tied for 11th in the league. I already said I expect Lawrence will be slinging the rock around, and Christian Kirk is usually one who benefits from that. Last week, Kirk finished with 8 catches on 14 targets. More importantly, he found the end zone. Kirk has become Lawrence's go-to guy, and if they get behind against the Chiefs, we can expect him to be targeted quite a lot in this game. Sure, they might get blown out, but a garbage time TD counts all the same. So, guys, that's my pick for this game. If you're going to pick it and just bet the game, go -8 with the Kansas City Chiefs. Our 3-team single game parlay is the Chiefs -8. Christian Kirk with an anytime touchdown. Trevor Lawrence more than 275 yards passing. Now, on a $10 bet, you win $135. On a $100 bet, you win $1,300. What gets better than that? All right, guys, I want to remind you of one other free offer we have, especially if you like slots, table games, you like social casinos. Sign up with stake.us and use our exclusive promo code, capital letters, TGT Social, to secure your unique 5% rake back bonus. Make sure you check them out. That is an absolute great social casino, stake.us. Make sure you go check them out. Remember to follow us at Grueling Truth. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.